Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Toyota Juniors at the Daytona road course for race 4. And we'll get going in a moment. We're going to have a look at the standings where it's very, very tight. Up at the top between SRI and Dave the Art, 46 points each. Steve F1 in 3rd. And then Demon R, SGP and Jason all tied for 4th. Then Conrad in 7th. Rich Blues in 8th. Gary and Bob tied for 9th. Art Panel in 11th. Jimmy in 12th. Twilight 13th. And then we've got a few non-scorers because they've not attended yet. Rumours, though, Raymond, who's joining us on commentary today, rumours, though, that Fluffy could be making a return.
Is that what the rumours are going round the paddock?
I think it might be, yeah. All over Twitter and Instagram, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't know Fluffy was that big a guy.
I didn't know it was that popular either. Oh, it's looking a bit cloudy here at Daytona as we get ready to take a quick walk down the grid. SGP taking pole position with Conrad joining him. I would say the front row. There isn't a row, but there's no painted lines. But he is in 2nd. Then Dave in 3rd. Steve F1 in 4th. Demon R in 5th. Art Pal in 6th. And then who's that there?
That's Ray's in 7th. And then we've got Yasan. Oh, I forgot that word. And 8th. Gary 9th. Twilight 10th. Jimmy 11th, Bob 12th, and Rich 13th.
That is 13? Absolutely correct. Ooh. Yes, it is 13. As we're at 4 lights, 5 lights, and away they go. It's a little bit of a slow start. SGP dropping straight down to the yellow lines. He doesn't want anybody going up the inside of him down into turn 1. Now, for anyone that doesn't know this circuit, we are about to take a tighter left-hand corner than would normally be seen at Daytona because it's the road course. So we go left here into a tricky, narrow section. Oh! I think Connor may have hit the pit wall, or the turn 1 wall. It is the pit wall as well, isn't it? Yeah, he's gone from 2nd all the way to the back now. SGP with a little bit of a gap. Dave the Art, someone else off in the background. Dave the Art making a move on Steve F1, or is he defending from Steve F1?
What position did he start in?
I don't know, I can't remember. He might have done.
I don't say. So he must have been defending unless he dropped at the start.
Absolutely. Oh, Demon R having a look up the inside, or Steve F1's having none of that. Just about leaves enough space. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, it's okay. It's SRI's took 5th place from Mark Powell. They were having a wee battle back there. As we see, is Demon R is he going to fall up to the, do we call it the bus stop?
What? Wow. Well, it's a chicane, isn't it? I mean, I suppose it is a bit like the bus stop chicane, but it is quite a high speed one though. As it's getting a little bit busy on the banking as the drivers making their way round. Now, with this having such long sections of the track at full speed, it does make sense for the drivers to do a bit of bump drafting, work together. Although, from the looks of it, 4 wide might be an option. It's risky. Are they going to get through the chicane? Oh, here comes Conrad up the inside. Oh, and we've got Bob and Twilight off. Ooh!
That was unlucky. I don't think Richard had anywhere to go.
I think you're absolutely right.
Conrad's trying to get through the fact that he's from 13th to 8th, and was that a lap or
under half a lap? Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to have a look at that again though, because it looked like they were sort of 4 wide, and then I don't know if Connor come in to make it 5 wide or not, but we go 3 wide again, trying to make it 4 wide. And this is where somebody's gonna have to be sensible. Oh, can they get through the corner? Oh, I think Jimmy was a little bit late on the brakes. They all managed just to survive.
Close to that wall again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's playing with fire with that wall.
It's a firewall. So I don't know what that means, but yeah. Okay, but yeah. So I mean, as I was sort of hinting at, if you got 3 wide in front of you on the back straight, going 4 wide may not be a good idea. I mean, Demon R having a look at Steve F1 here. Is he going to go for it? Is he going to go for a little switch to the right? He is. Is he going to? But he's not going for it under braking. Oh, Conrad making a move on Art Pal. He is going for it under braking. That was
Yeah,
on,
I
it was on the pack cam.
I was just trying to watch it, see how it went. It looked nice and smooth. As we see, SRI try to get on the back of Demon R as well. So it's going to be about. I know there's not a lot of it, but the slipstream here is what Demon R doesn't look as close to Steve F1 as SRI does. As we see Art Pal on the back of Conrad, is see how the slipstream works.
Yeah.
We know it's not a big, great deal, but it looks to be working for Art Pal. As we see, he's in 7th place, so he's in the back end of the boost.
Well, let's see. Does he? Someone's going up the inside. From that camera angle, very difficult to see exactly what happened there. But yeah, it looked like it got a little bit messy on the way towards the chicane. I mean, I know I'm an advocate. Oh, he has, hasn't he? Well, this is the thing with the chicane. If you're slow in the chicane, you'll get caught. If you're sensible through the chicane, you can go fast. And if you're side by side, you're never going to go fast through the chicane as SGP. Sticking to that yellow line, Steve F1 doing similar. I'm wondering if Demon R's giving him a bit of a bump draft, though. Is he going to try making a move down into turn 1? I doubt it. I mean, turn 1's a bit of a tricky place to go for it. I think if you're going to go for a move, I think you need to be side by side before turn 1, really.
I'm not giving that wall a bit more of a berth this time round.
Yes.
As we can see, he's catching on to SRI, so there'll be a battle to keep an eye out for.
That it will. Steve F1. Oh, little slow. Go on.
Demon R with a wiggle as well. So
yeah.
The side by side, and we're going to come up to a left-hand kink, which should give Steve F1 that wee bit more ahead with the shorter line. Yeah. Demon R sorts him behind. But with them going side by side, look.
Yep.
SRI and Conrad catching up.
Absolutely. I mean, it's interesting there as well. The left-hand kink, it's easily flat out unless you're on side by side on the outside line. So it's possible Demon R having to pedal it a little bit. And yes, like you said, they Steve F1 Demon R battle for 5 seconds. And it's just allowed SRI to close the gap. Conrad's still trying to close that gap as well. And then we've got a little bit of a gap to Art Pal, who's got Twilight up his chuff. And this is where I think it's Bob, it's Jason. He's pulled out of the slipstream. Twilight's kind of trying to give Art Pal the bump draft here. Jason's sliding in as well. But yeah, so this is where they're better off bump drafting each other than if they're not going to go 3 wide, are they? No, they're not. So that's that bit sensible. They'll go through this section much faster. Although we can see, because he's not there on the screen, Twilight has dropped back a little bit. So obviously he was compromised a little bit by Jason and Jimmy there.
Yeah, Twilight's got a bit of a run. Twilight's just bum drafting Art Pal there. He's not even looking for the move now. He's going to wait till turn 1. SRI on the back of
Demon R.
Demon R, he's went to the outside.
Well, this is what I was saying about earlier, like with Steve F1 and Demon R. If you get side by side at this point and try the move at turn 1, yeah, cracking, go for it, because this is all like it's a good idea. But if you're not really close enough, just do the bump drafting, and you'll like the pace will still be there. Now the question is, will that little bit of a battle compromise them at all? As the pack is getting a little bit 2x2 through the wigglies. As we're still looking at Demon R, SRI right behind him, and around turn 2. I mean, technically it's not the second corner, but we don't really count the little S's. Oh, and Gary, as I just saw on the pack cam, Gary was facing the wrong direction. I think he may have got a bit of a tag in by Rich Blues there.
Here comes
the hard step.
Demon R was a bit close to Steve F1 that time. It might have just been a Constantina effect at the corner, but it looked a wee bit pretty close. Now they're all wanting to try and get a good run out of here. SRI taking a tighter line than Demon R, but is it going to be the faster way?
Well, I don't think it wasn't the preferred line. On the pack cam, Twilight's got a run with Art Pal again, but he's going for the bump draft. That's the right thing to do. Or interestingly as well, from turn 1, all the cars have been they've actually been fairly close together. Twilight trying his best to speed. Now, see, Jimmy's coming. Jimmy's going to try and make a move, is he? He'd be better off, though, going for the bump draft, because now he's going to go through the chicane slower. Bob's going for the bump draft. Look at how much Art Pal and Twilight have caught up to Conrad, but now watch how much everyone's going to lose in that chicane. Jimmy's lost out big time. Twilight's lost out loads, and so Twilight's going the wrong way.
Was that not Jimmy?
It might have been.
Twilight's still there.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He is. Sorry, yeah.
Jimmy was off.
Yeah. But it just goes to show, I mean, Twilight was working with Art Pal, and it's worked really well for Art Pal, as we're now having a look at Dave the Arp, who's got a decent run on SGP here. Is he going to be able to try and make a move? But again, I mean, interestingly, for Dave and SGP, this is something I know Steve F1 has done before in situations like this, and that's bump draft the leader to create a bigger gap to third, so you can make it more of a one-on-one battle. Oh, Dave gone a little bit wide.
Yeah. Is he going to go for the switchback? Yeah. You would say he was, with that angle of the camera, we can't see for definite, he was past the track limit, so, but it doesn't look like he's going for a move, or is he trying to get SGP? I don't know what's that happened behind. SRI's been overtaken quite a few people.
Art Pal's big time sideways, and it's tagged SRI as well. And now Bob's tagged SRI. I'm not sure there's a lot Art Pal and Bob could have done about that. It looked like something may have been happening on the way into the corner. That's now created a bigger gap between Steve F1 and Demon R, and SRI's dropped right down to the back. Now we've got a bit of a gap from Dave the Arp as well to Steve F1. Well, that could really throw a cat amongst the pigeons. Meow.
Oh, no. I was thinking, what? Cat amongst the pigeons. Right.
Yeah, it's like bull in a china shop, isn't it? Oh, Gary trying to make a move on Art Pal here. Okay, so are you going to bump draft, Gary? Are you going to? Oh no, you see, Gary's trying to. Oh, I see. I don't like that. Gary went to go round the outside, but okay, it looked like he went to go round the outside, but Art Pal was there. You can't just move across if there's a car there. I mean, that's the message we tried getting across last week. I mean, Gary may not have realised Art Pal was there, but that's where the awareness has got to come into it. Oh dear.
Is it tagged him? Somebody else has went off.
Oh, Bob's having a big tank slapper as well. That went through the camera.
It just went right when it went left.
Well, he's still in 7th at the moment, so he's doing all right. So let's see, Conrad on the back of Demon R now. A bit of a gap. See, this again is like if Conrad really wants to make gains forward on a track like this, doing some bump drafting can gain two drivers so much time. And it looks like he may be going down that route. And as I mentioned, if you're going to go for a move in one, he's looking, maybe. But personally, for me, if you're not already side by side, it's a big risk. Demon R's gone deep, though, with a big wobble.
Oh, wobble there. Is that going to compromise him into turn 2 here? And is Conrad going to go for the move?
Nope.
Going to throw up the inside?
Well, I think Demon R covered the inside off there, heading up to the corner. Oh, Conrad sideways! Oh, no! Oh, it's such a simple corner, that, but one that everyone at some point will get loose on the rear end in that way, and it's so easy to happen. Rich Blues on the back of Twilight now, heading down towards these right-handers. This right-hander as well, it's an interesting one.
Oh, I'll go for a move on Bob. Bob's trying to go for a move on
Gary. Jason went for a move on Rich, while Rich was trying to have a look at making a move on Twilight. And interestingly, I mean, a few laps ago, these guys were sort of single file. Now they're not. Oh, this could compromise them a little bit. There was a little bit of nudging in there.
Pretty wide. Art Pal's went for the cutback. Gary's up top. No, Gary's coming down.
Oh, it's a big crash. Oh, holy cow. Where... I mean, we couldn't see from the angle we had exactly what happened. It's not like NASCAR where we can go and have a look back at it, but it definitely looked a little bit like 3 trying to get into the space of 2, and as we know, it doesn't work, does it?
It's only 2 become 1.
Yep.
Not 3.
No.
Oh, Jason getting a wee Alskatap from Rich.
Oh, you've been looking up what it is, was it? Alskatap? Oh, Rich Blue's making the move back. I wonder whether Jason got a little bit out of shape or took a little bit too much corner there. As SRI now closing in on the back of these two. Now is SRI going to be sensible? Oh yeah, I was going to say something's happened to Connor. We saw him have his off, didn't we? So SRI, is he going to make it 3 wide, or is he going to be? No, he's going to make it 3 wide. But then saying that, I did mention, okay, 3 wide here. Okay, maybe not 2 wise, but as we're getting to the corner now, this is where you've got to be filtering it down. Oh, Rich and Jason though wide. So was somebody in the background. I think that was Jimmy. Yeah, it was.
Twilight is now under attack from SRI. SRI was late on the brakes into that turn 1.
Well, interestingly as well, Demon R on the pack cam now right behind Steve F1 as SRI making the move on Twilight, heading up towards this left king. Now this is the corner I was on about where when you're side by side it may not be flat out. Let's see how these two are going to get on. Oh, it's a tiny little touch there. How's it on the brakes? That may be too late on the brakes for SRI. Is he going to go deep? Yes, he is. Twilight with a switchback. Oh, I don't know if there was any more contact there, but SRI into the grass. SRI's disappeared.
You went into that Doctor Who's TARDIS.
Oh, dear. Oh, shocking. What's that? What's that pit lane report? Oh, it was a raise quit. Right, okay, sorry, okay.
Raise quit. There's Jimmy going for the move on Bob, while he's bump drafting, so Jimmy isn't really getting anywhere, is he? He's on that high ground. Watch it.
Oh, that's where though for as well. Jimmy, if he's going to come down to the lower, he's got to be careful because Bob was there. Rich sort of sharing the slipstream. From this angle, we can't tell who's in what sort of position other than. Oh, we'll look at something else. Demon R's got past Steve F1. When did that happen?
I don't know. Camera guy's fucked up there.
Yeah. Too busy watching Rich and Jimmy. I'm guessing it must have happened through the chicane.
Too busy on his pints and singing.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, on the pack cam, we can see that Rich is still in a battle with Twilight, Jimmy, and Bob, I think it is. Steve F1 having a look. Ooh. I mean, I don't mind people having a look sometimes. There, get the car ahead, get the guy ahead, looking in the mirrors, and see if they can see if they make a mistake.
Yeah, distract them.
Yeah, absolutely. Interestingly, though, Demon R Steve F1 not that far away from SGP and Dave the Harp at the moment. However, Conrad went deep.
Conrad went deep. Yeah.
And on the pack cam, Jimmy went for a move, but he's gone deep. He's been undercut by Rich, or switchbacked by Rich, and we see that now on the pack cam.
Here comes Bob.
All right. And here comes Jimmy. Bob. But yeah, I'm wondering whether Demon R and Steve F1 may need to work together a bit to close in on SGP and Dave the Harp as 2x2. Bob's gone a little bit understeer. Oh, Jimmy sideways. Oh, it's like
it wouldn't be normal if Jimmy wasn't sideways.
Well, no, it's like Gazza's old mate though, isn't he? Like Jimmy Five Bellies. He's Jimmy sideways. Yeah. But yeah, okay, so Demon R then, we're having a look here, Steve F1 right behind him. Interesting lap times, fairly consistent-ish. It's like consistent for a couple of laps and then one a little slower. Rich Blues, though, got Art Pal closing in on him. Now, interestingly, the situation that Rich Blues and Art Pal are in, yes, they could bump draft, but because there's a bit of a gap to the cars behind, I think for Art Pal it may not be a bad idea to make, Demon R, Steve F1. Both of them often, yeah. Well, I mean, should we talk about that, Ray? Because obviously the in-game track limits penalties have been turned off.
Yeah, they have.
Here's
the
Dave.
drivers.
Here's Dave. Dave.
Oh, is he going to have a look into turn 1? He's got to. If you're side by side, you've got to.
Yeah.
There's no point getting side by side and not having that wee bit of battle.
Well, that's the thing. You can have a look and you can, give the other person space and see where you both end up. Like these two. SDP so close to hitting the wall there. But this is like they're driving, racing nicely and fairly there. Both going into the corner as quick as they can. Both giving plenty of space. Nice to see. And they've not lost that much time, actually, while doing that. But having said that, Dave, the Demon R and Steve F1 cutting the corner on the previous chicane will have compromised them a little bit, you would think.
Yeah, well, you would think if that would be if track limit penalties were on, but they're not, so they could have gained that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I suppose it depends on whether they were... you see, I know from a little bit of driving I've done around here, if you go through there without a care in the world, you might cut the corner and gain. But if you go through there doing everything you can to try and not cut the corner, Dave's got a little bit deep, that gives SGP the run back on him. But he won't really want to be side by side all the way down this straight. I think they'd have preferred to have been one slipstream in the other. And having said that, I think Demon R would want Steve F1 bump drafting him right now. Dave the Arp's dropped off and tucked into the slipstream. That's a wise decision. Is which
Steve
way they're going to go?
F1's dropped back.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he?
Yeah, I've just seen that in the camera. Is Dave the Harp looking? He's kind of pulled out and saying, look, I'm here.
Yeah. Maybe he was also pulling out to see where they were going.
Yeah, it could be as well, yeah.
SGP's proper hugging the yellow line there. That's one way of saying, yeah, no, you're not going up the inside of me. But yeah, so on the pack cam as well now, Jason got the whole field right behind him once again, other than the top 5. So I wonder if Dave the Arp's going to have another opportunity here down into turn 1. It looks like he's a little bit further back, but I think the opportunity may still be there. Oh no, he's tagged the back of him. Yeah, I think there was a moment where Dave just tagged the back of SGP there, and it compromised his run then. Artpal looking at taking a wide entry into 1. It might be a deep entry. It is a deep entry. He's gone quite deep. And a little touch with Rich there, I think. And Artpal, you can't cut through there. As we're looking back at Demon R. Steve F1, you mentioned, had dropped off the back of him. Interestingly, I think Steve did have a slow lap in there.
I've not been looking at lap times as we see. That's mighty pack. There's Bob, Gary, Rich, and who's behind Rich? Is it Artpal? Oh no, Artpal went off, so
yeah,
Twilight maybe.
Quite possibly. Gary having a look. He's got a run on the inside of Bob here. Can he get it slowed down? Jimmy, I've not seen Jimmy.
Jimmy was sideways at the corner of the screen.
I didn't see that. I think I was too busy focusing on Gary and Bob there. So now side by side they go once again. Twilight sneaking up the inside of Bob there. And so interesting. Twilight could get hung out to dry a little bit here. Oh, Gary's just tagged the wall. They don't want to be too high up the wall there.
Well, Twilight's on the apron.
Well, it does like a bit of cooking. That's cooking, not cocking. Okay, Bob.
Twilight and Rich side by side. Bob's bump
drafting. He was. He's just pulled out. Yeah, you see, bump draft all the way into, not into the chicane, but bump draft all the way up to the chicane. Single file the chicane. Go through it quickly. Bump draft down the final corner. Gary's out wide. Bob gets the move done. Twilight gets the move done. Rich is on him now. Bump draft round the final corner, down the main straight, make the move into 1 and hope you can pull away. That's the way to do it, boys. Oh, where did he come from?
Down the inside, yeah. Bob left the door open. Like, you want to hug that apron, the yellow line at the apron, so nobody can come in below you, because you can get up alongside them, and then it's then they have to battle because the reduced boost and slipstream as Twilight gives Jason a I'll scat up.
Yep. But Twilight's gone a bit. Oh, he's managed to stay on the track. Oh, he's giving him another top. I don't know what that is. He's giving him another touch. But Jason manages to survive once again. I must admit, one of the things I found fascinating. Oh, what a.
He was very close to the edge of the end of the pit wall at that S end.
Well, I can genuinely say I was not looking at that bit. I was admiring the camera angle there. But I mean, I know this track quite well, and I know there's a few corners around here, like this one we're coming up to, where the temptation may be to go late and hard and deep on the brakes here, but it compromises your speed in the middle of the corner so much. And the thing is, if you've got a driver ahead of you that is taking the normal racing line and, oh, Jimmy! Not doing what Jimmy's doing. Yeah, taking the normal racing line and like a nice and early, gentle braking point, which is a faster way round here. If you're the car behind, it can lead you into a false sense of there's a big gap, I'm going fast, I can go in there. So I do think the drivers have to be a little bit careful of that one. What's Rich going to do? Is he going to bump draft or is he going to make it free wide? Oh, I'd have gone with a bump draft.
Oh, I know he's dropping into that. He's like, could I bump draft here?
Well, interestingly,
if he's picked Bob and that's somebody else has come in to make it free wide too. Was that? Is that Gary?
It might be, yeah. I was going to say, oh no, Gary's off.
It's Gary.
From this angle, it's difficult to see exactly what happened there, but I would say Rich picked the right car to bump draft there because that got him up alongside Twilight, which meant Bob would have been ahead of Twilight, meaning Twilight would have had to have slotted in behind them. So, I mean, I don't know whether somebody came in a little bit behind that. But this is again where the drivers they have to be careful about where they're positioning the car. Like this now, Rich looks like he's trying to share the slipstream, but Jimmy, do you really want to be down there? I don't know. Twilight, he's trying to cover it off, but it's too late.
Yeah, he's left it too late. They left the door open.
Oh!
I mean,
look,
now it's like 4 into 1. It doesn't go.
Yeah, it looked like Art Pal tried to turn in there. There was cars already next to him. That won't work. I mean, obviously, we can only comment about what we're seeing on the camera angles we've got at the moment. We don't get. Oh, was that?
Up the wall, like.
Yeah, I saw it that time. Bob just had a big sideways moment in the braking zone. Jimmy helping him with another one. But yeah, so this is where for these guys, yeah. Oh,
see what's happening? No, I wonder if the drivers can see what's happening. No.
What's that? These lot battling, and the front five saying bye.
And Jason's just there, like nobody's catching him.
What? That's a lovely switchback from Bob there. I mean, that was a lovely opportunistic move, but it's a good point you make. I mean, okay, Bob is behind Jason now. Let's see who's behind Jason at turn 1, shall we? Place your bets, folks. You've got about...
You don't need to go to turn 1. You can go to chicane.
Well, yeah, I thought we'd give it a bit more time. Well, Bob's already been passed by Rich Blues, so... oh no, it was Gary. Yeah, so Gary's got ahead of Bob. Twilight bump drafting Bob. Are they going to go to the inside like Rich did? We can't see. No, I think Twilight's gone for the safer game. Not quite worked for him, no. There's a 2x2. I mean, they're trying to give each other plenty of space through there, which is the right thing to do. Oh, Twilight's gone right. It's gone wrong, but he's gone right. Oh, dear. Just in case Mum and the dogs are watching this. Harry, George, good boys, sit. Be nice, sit. Biscuits. Okay. So I've been told.
Hello to my number 1 fan.
Yeah, it's just I've been told that Mum's been watching the races recently with the dogs, and the dogs hear my voice and wonder where the bloody hell I am.
And she's going to be disappointed.
Oh well, yeah, she is. Okay, so SGP still leading the way. We're 13 laps into this race. Dave the Arp right behind him. These two up at the front been doing fairly consistent 2-minute 12 and 2-minute 11 lap times. So cracking battle between the two of them. Interesting, the slipstream not that powerful in these cars as we've mentioned before. It may seem like it's more powerful in the pack, but as far as I'm aware, it is pretty much still the same. I think in these cars you have to get within about 0.7 of a second, and I think Dave is very, very close to that for it to really benefit. Now, interestingly, these two have been absolutely flying the last couple of laps, and I think Demon R may be closing the gap on them. I don't know, it's hard to tell, but Steve F1 has dropped off even more from Demon R.
Yeah, I'm just watching that back cam as well. Like, Jason's still got that bit of a gap.
Yeah, that he has. I mean, it's interesting. I'd love to see what Jason's lap times are. Let's see. Has Dave the Arp got a run on SGP here? He may just be within that slipstream. Yeah, interestingly, I think he's just poking his nose out so he can see where the corner is. It's something I do know that I tend to do because it can be quite difficult to see exactly where you are. Through the chicane they go. Dave's got a really good opportunity here. He's really close now. The slipstream... Oh, actually, is he? It looked close, but I don't think he is. Maybe he had a slightly slower chicane.
Maybe a slower exit, but...
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see into turn 1.
Well, he's gaining. He's gaining.
Yeah,
he's gaining.
he's gaining.
You can see he's definitely now within the slipstream. That's why the gap has closed in. And will it gain enough for him to have a look? As we've got 5 laps to go. Oh, it looked like SGP defending the middle of the road there, and perhaps caught Dave a little off guard. I thought Dave was going to hit the wall then.
Yeah.
Oh, that pack cam's looking busy down into turn 1. We've got Jason, then Art Pal. I think it's Jimmy. No, it's Formula Gary behind Art Pal. What, has Art Pal gone deep again? He has, yeah, a little bit. Oh, Bob comes flying through. That was way too deep on the brakes.
Well, look at that. Look at the gap Jason's got now.
Yeah.
Because they're all...
Because of that battle. Oh, actually, who was behind Jason at turn 1? It was Art Pal, wasn't it? Or was that a lap ago?
That was a few laps ago.
I completely forgot. I know it was Gary into the chicane, but I completely forgot about that. Yeah, so, but, I mean, it's a good point that we're making because them battling is allowing Jason to just hold that bit of a gap as Conrad now all over the back of Steve F1. I mean, Connor had a very interesting race last time out, getting the win. I can't see him coming all the way through here to win this one, because I think, to be honest, I think the pace of the top 5 is just too close. They're doing such similar lap times. That's why we're not seeing sort of any of the gaps really closing or gaining. It's only going to happen when someone's going to have either a phenomenal lap or a bit of a lose a little time on a lap, and half a second could count here. Now, interestingly...
Yeah, count quite a lot, actually.
Yeah. Oh, now, interestingly, Conrad didn't go for an attack into the chicane. Gets a better run through the chicane. Makes the move on the exit of the chicane. Now, let's have a look at the pack cam as they're 2x2x2. Oh, sliding to single file. Who can get through there, or they're still battling. But yeah, that was actually a nice bit of driving by Conrad there. An example of, in that situation, maybe he could have gone for it into the chicane. But it's not the fastest and necessarily best thing to do. Here we go. Hold your breath. Close your eyes. Uh-oh.
Yeah, 3 wide. Not 2 wide, 3 wide.
4 wide.
Moving quite around a bit, aren't they? And for a bank corner.
Well, yeah, it's a good point, actually. I mean, quite often, I'm going to say quite often, or let's get through turn 1 here, shall we? When we get there, Jason hugging that inside line. Oh, Gary! Oh, you know what? I think Jason, in a way, has got lucky there that Gary was at the head of the pack. He's punted Jason. Jason survived, but that's now put a different car behind him. But yeah, so normally, Gary having a look, Bob. That looked like a bit of a late look by Bob there, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I need to see it back to say I couldn't really say.
What's that? Looking back over my Bob.
Footage.
Yeah, so you mentioned about the banking. I mean, one of the things, in oval racing, normally you would pick your lane and stick in it around a corner. Because if you go sweeping up or down the road in a corner, chances are you're going to cause a major crash. And at the speeds that they do in NASCAR, potentially death as well. Now, it's a little bit like, I know for me around here, I'd probably in this car want to hug that yellow line all the way round. Dave the Arp, has he got a run on SGP? Here's to go through the chicane. The gap staying sort of similar. Demon Arc, is he closing in? I don't know. It's hard to tell.
If it is, it's very
It's not that small. Minuscule. It's by very fine margins, they say. Okay, Jason still ahead of the pack. Well, no. She said, where is it? What? That? I thought that was a zip. Okay, Dave the Arp, I don't think he's quite got a run on SGP here, but Art Pal may have a run on Jason. He tried it last lap around and it didn't quite work, but also that's previous lap, 2 laps ago, sorry, but that's because Art Pal went a bit deep and Gary interfered, didn't he?
Well, 212, 5 to 212, 7 is kind of Demon Conroy. Steve lap time says. Gary.
Once again, there's a 2 cars spinning in the background. I think Gary gave Artpal a little bit of a tag there. He has backed out of it, but that sort of took away any chance of Artpal trying to make a move on Jason. Artpal's now gone a little bit deep. Gary with a switchback. There's a little bit of contact. And around Artpal goes. I think it. Oh, hello. Hello. Okay, I think Gary may be waiting for Artpal there. It's unfortunate. Is Jimmy going to go for the gap? He is going to go for the gap, you crazy bastard. Oh, dear. I don't.
And as this is all kicking off, Jason's in his car, just saying, "For that camper mod mina vener."
What does that mean? For fuck's sake, leave me alone. I know what I'm doing.
Keep fighting, my friends.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well, interestingly, Jason has now got a much bigger gap over the car behind him. Dave the Arp is getting a nice little slipstream here on SGP as they go through the bus stop chicane once more. Oh, Dave's a little wide there. Oh, is he getting... Oh.
Don't know if I didn't see how much wide he was, or if he was past the track limits.
Well, I mean, what I can only say from the angle I saw, he's got a decent run on SGP here now, though, making the move. I mean, it could be controversial. It might not be controversial. So, side by side they go, over the start-finish line. Dave just in the lead. Is he? They're pretty much neck and neck. SGP back in the lead. Steve F1 bump drafting Conrad on the pack cam. Oh, yeah.
Tower.
Now SGP's back in the lead as they're still side by side. SGP does get ahead.
I go defensive there. He is defensive. You can see, look where he's placing his car. He just try to give Dave that outside line and then trying to park on.
It's not worked though.
No.
There's a lovely switchback from Dave. Also on the pack cam, Bob is chasing down Jason all on his own. It's an interesting battle there. I mean, a nice battle through turn 1, turn 2, but yeah.
This lap and last lap to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was SGP got anything to come back?
Wow.
Dave the Hart, well.
That's a good question. I mean, all he really needs is a good exit. I mean, he's very close here. Can he get a good exit? But he's gone wide. It does compromise your speed quite a bit. And if it drops you out to that slipstream range, as on the pack cam, Bob, I think that is, with Twilight behind him. Yeah, so SGP, it may take him a little bit longer to close that gap up once again. I must admit, my guts are going a little bit. I might need to go for a poo soon. But yeah, not that I really needed to announce that to everyone. But if I suddenly go, right, that's it, we're done, Ray, I'm off, bye. You know why? Oh, Bobby's gone top of the road as these leading two go through the chicane once again. Oh, Dave taking a very tight line there. Gets a good exit, though. And SGP, I think, is within slipstream range. Demon R not closed in. Conrad, Steve F1 through the chicane. Here's Jason. He's like the Pied Piper, isn't he? Follow me, follow me. Bob got a run. Or no, he's not got a run. He's gone deep. Oh, he's managed to... Twilight took a bit of a corner there. So did Rich. I mean, it's interesting with that. I mean, with us turning the corner cut penalties off, the question could be asked, like with Rich and Twilight, we just saw there, with the corner cut penalties on, would they have got a penalty in that situation? Now, this is where the drivers want to kind of stick to the lane they're in. If you're down bottom and you got a car next to you, you can't move up. Oh, it's going to get busy.
Yeah, they need spotters.
Oh,
Where
where did Rich come from? Oh, 3 wide, 2 wide, 4 wide, 3 wide. Oh, Gary seemed to go a bit straight on there. I think collected Bob. I don't know. There's still 3 wide through turn 1. Jason will be looking at his mirrors going, carry on. I mean, he's not Indian, but you must have been practicing that all fucking day.
I mean, I just typed that into Google.
I can say you can barely fucking speak English, but you're speaking fluent Swedish. You know.
Well, we'll find out when Jason watches the video and go, "What the?
Why
fuck?
did you say you wanted to suck my mother's balls?" You know. Oh dear. Right, so can SGP do anything about Dave the Arp, who's leading this race, and with SRI not in this race, will be leading the championship at the end of it?
Oh, that's alright, not here, so of course.
Well, let's see. What have they got? Can they do anything? Jason's got a healthy lead going on to the back straight. SGP's not quite close enough. If he can close the gap in through the chicane, which is exactly what he's doing. Oh, he's good. They've got a good run. They were right on the limit there, but it's good. But I don't know if he's close enough. I don't think he is close. Oh, the pack has 4 wide headed up to the chicane. Oh, don't do it, guys. Don't do it, guys. It doesn't make any sense to do it.
Jason's gone, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. More. Dave the Arp, he is going to cross the line in a moment to take the victory. The flag is waving. SGP making one last dart to the inside. Can't do anything about it. Demon R's going to take the line in 3rd. Conrad in 4th, Steve F1 in 5th, Jason, he's held on since about lap 7 in 6th place. The guys behind him,
he's getting caught.
He is getting caught, but is it enough? Is anybody going to work together? Oh, he's moved across. He holds on. Oh, and now he gets a little nudge after the line, but it's all good in love and war. What a well. Yeah,
that's a new word. Älskar
Oh well, okay. Got to say, well done to Dave the Harp there. Although, I mean, Dave the Harp and SGP seem to have a very intense battle there. It's very close. Demon R was kind of in no man's land. Conrad recovering from his error on the first lap. Steve F1 didn't quite have the pace to the front two. And then we had Jason and the pack. 2 very different races from the front 5 and the remaining cars. But we mentioned on the on that last was it the last lap with Twilight and Rich about would they have got the penalty for going off track? Well, it's an interesting one.
Well, we know with that, Connor, it's more likely to give you the amount of times we've played the game, like as admins testing it, because what be a year and a half since the games came out, and we're only just getting onto it because we feel now's round about a good enough time to switch to it, but beforehand it wasn't good enough for league racing. Well, maybe for like your daily races and whatnot. But even now, they had issues. Okay. But we wanted to make sure there was as little, what's the word I'm looking? Disruption? Is that the word?
Drama. Well, yeah, as least disruption as possible.
Yeah, to the league's running.
Yeah. Well, I've got a slightly interesting point to sort of put to you, as I am trying to desperately fend off needing a poo. Okay. No, not quite. Okay, in DGT League at the start of this championship, we had the corner cut penalties on, and they would do what they do. The decision was then made to take them off. So, in my mind, the fact that there were corner cut penalties initially doesn't matter. So like Twilight and Rich there, okay, yes, they've cut the corner, but we don't know if they've done it at speed, they've slowed down, they've gained anything or anything like that. Now, the game may have instantly have given them a penalty for it, but under the DGT rules, would we instantly give a penalty for it? That's an interesting question, and maybe it's something that the admins and the drivers will have to sort of think of as well. It's like, or is it just because the game isn't giving them the penalty now, they should be prepared for the fact that they could have got a 1, 2 or maybe even 3 second penalty for what they did?
Oh, in their mind, they should be trying not to.
They should be staying on a fucking track. I mean, one thing I will say is, go on.
If you are following a car that's cutting corners every lap, we, us as admins, do say put it in.
Send that to the page.
Send it to the page, and that way we can have a look at it. Whether it becomes a penalty or not, it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
And also, it lets us able to, like, say to the drivers, look, come on, there's too much corner cutting going on. Let's bring it back to within the DGT rules.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because if drivers are cutting corners and nobody's letting us know, how are they going to correct themselves?
Absolutely. And there's also the scenario as well where sometimes drivers may take what they think is a perfectly normal, natural line, but actually it isn't. And
especially, sorry to cut you off there, but especially at this track when we were in the practice lobby just before qualifying and people were questioning.
Yes. What is the
chicane?
Absolutely. Like, what part is the track limits there? Because it is an odd one where you've got a white line going halfway around the exit of the corner and then a curb. And yeah, if you're all 4 wheels over the line before the curb, you are exceeding track limits. So, but yeah, I mean, I mentioned it because obviously we've seen cars there, and there is. I mean, could it be controversial? I think we saw if Dave was off track. I mean, could that have had an effect on what happened many corners later? I've no idea. But I'm sure someone will have a look at it at some point. Just want to mention...
It'll be Damon's fault because we did ask for a video.
Yeah, but that's just because you were off the pace. No.
I wasn't off the pace, we were winding you up.
Well, I was winding you two up, to be fair. Did you not realise? Did you not realise that my messages just kept going? Nope.
We kind of practiced on Monday. I can't remember why, but when me and SJP got to be.
Can't remember why. You had a baby in the hospital.
Oh yeah.
Fucking hell.
It's fine now. Fine now. I've put that many babies in the hospital, and I've been in the hospital that many times.
Well, yeah.
It's just like visiting.
Yeah. So I'll have the usual room, please. Thank you.
Yeah. We had the same room that Joshua was in, actually.
Yeah.
So me and SGP and we were saying, try to figure, we were winding you up with the lap times to see if you would give us what lap times you were doing, and we're like, well, we're not we're around about the same lap time, so
yeah.
And then we only just said that about the video, but then as what about like the difference on the yellow lines and not the white lines, and then the chicane? That's what we asked for the video, and you just said no.
Nope.
Buggeries.
Yeah, you'd wound me up too much by then. But I mean, that's just something I was going to mention. I mean, something that is interesting there. You mentioned about doing similar lap times. I think it is a feature of this car that, I mean, there doesn't seem to be one person that is massively faster at all the tracks or massively faster at any one of the tracks, and the lap times are very, very close. It's fascinating to see. Okay, in a few moments' time, we will be having a look at the confirmed race result, if there's been any stewarding that's needed being doing, and the confirmed championship standings. However, I do need to mention that if it hasn't been put out already, it'll be coming out very, very, very soon, that there will be the admin's report about the boost settings that we've been telling people we've been putting together. I've literally spent most of today dealing with documents on the computer and compiling all of that data and trying to put it together. And once we finish recording this commentary, I am going to go for a poo, and then I'm going to record the audio for that. So hopefully that will be out very, very soon. It might even be out before this, considering that I'm away for the weekend. But talking about documents, something I found quite interesting is, did you know that Bugs Bunny won't accept files through Google Drive?
Bugs Bunny?
Yeah.
Because he's a fucking rabbit.
No, he'll only accept WhatsApp docs.
What's up, Doc? Did you hear about the vegetarian and the vegan? They jumped off a cliff to see who would win.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Society won.
Well, that is true. I bought a dog yesterday from a blacksmith. As soon as I brought him home, he made a bolt for the door.
You made a what?
A bolt for the door.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I've got a little word game for you. Have you ever tried doing like red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry?
I ain't fucking doing it.
No, come on, give it a go. This isn't the one that, like, this is just a warm up for you, right? So come on, let's give it a go.
What?
Red lorry,
Red lorry,
yellow lorry.
yellow lorry.
And keep saying it and go a little bit quicker.
I can't.
Alright then. Come on, you can do it.
I can do it.
Right,
Honestly,
right, okay, try this one then. Are you ready? It's 3 words. Right. Alpha. So, Alpha.
Alpha.
Yeah. Kenny.
Alpha Kenny.
1.
1.
Yeah.
Alpha Kenny 1. Alpha Kenny.
Go on. Faster.
Alpha Kenny 1. Alpha Kenny 1.
You dirty bastard.
Alpha Kenny. What? I don't get it.
What? Listen to me saying it. So, Alpha Kenny 1. Alpha Kenny 1. Alpha Kenny 1. Alpha Kenny 1.
Alpha Kenny 1.
Alpha Kenny 1.
And all I hear is Alpha Kenny 1.
Alpha Kenny 1. But there we go. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, at the moment in time, no, actually, no. Right, okay, Ray, thank you once again for joining us on commentary.
No, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
It's been a pleasure.
As always. And yeah, let's see what the next race brings us as we're heading over to America again for Watkins Glen for the first time in Dynamic GT League.
That'll be a good race there, hopefully.
Hopefully. I mean, there's another bus stop chicane, isn't there? So, interesting turn 1.
Is that the season's thing? Bus stop
Bus stop chicane, yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, right. Let's have a look then at the confirmed race result and the championship standings. Okay, so as we have a look at the race result, you will notice that there has been a few penalties applied after here. I just want to quickly mention that the stewards did have a lot of things to look into. Also, because I was away for the weekend, it has taken us a while to get all of the stewarding done and decisions made. I could sit here and go through each one of those bits of information. However, there is so much of them. I would highly recommend checking out the stewards report and the G spot when that comes out. That will have all of the information on there. And if any of the drivers do have an issue with any of the penalties that they have received, feel free to message the page and have a chat with us. What we don't want is anybody basically giving anybody else any grief, and that includes to the stewards stroke admins. None of us like giving out penalties or anything like that, or having to tell people they got penalties, but sometimes it has to be done. Okay, so the confirmed race result then is Dave the Harp does take the victory, maximum 20 points, gets a 2-point penalty. That though was for there was a little bit of a corner cut when just before making the move on SGP. Unfortunate for Dave really, because I don't think he knew that it had happened. We did see it on the footage as well. Yeah, unfortunate for Dave, but it is a minus 2-point penalty. SGP finishes in second place with 17 points. Demon R in third on 15. Conrad in fourth gets 13 points, but does have a minus 6-point penalty. That is for two separate things. Steve F1 in fifth on 12 points. Jason in sixth on 11 points. Arpal finishing seventh on 10. Rich Blues in 8th on 9. Formula Gary in 9th on 8, but does get a minus 3-point penalty. Jimmy in 10th, 7 points. Twilight in 11th on 6 points. And in 12th place is Bob on 5 points. SRI 13th with a did not finish. So scores, no points from that one. And as I've already mentioned, check out the stewards' information and the G-Spot when that comes out, guys, because all the information that is on there, I think it is very, very relevant, but hopefully it will also let everybody know why any decisions have been made. Okay, let's have a look then at what that has done to the championship standings. And with SRI getting a DNF there, it does mean that Dave the Harp now leads the championship. 64 points for him, 8 ahead of SGP, who moves up into second. He's only 1 ahead of Steve F1, who moves up to third, who's only 1 ahead of Demon R, who moves up to fourth, who's now 4 ahead of Jason, who moves up to sixth, and SRI goes from first all the way down to sixth with scoring no points. Conrad, 7th place for him on 38 points. He's 6 ahead of Rich Blues, who's in 8th place. He loves the 8th place. 9th is Artpan on 27 points. And then we've got Formula Gary and Bob tied in 10th, both on 23 points. And they are 1 point ahead of Jimmy. 13th is Twilight on 12 points. And then we've got the non-scorers that have not been able to attend yet. Something else I want to mention as well quickly is on the stewards report, there is some information on there that isn't to do with any of the penalties that have been received from this race. I would recommend to all the drivers to read and watch the information on those because it's all very, very helpful, hopefully, towards moving forward. I would also like to say, or sort of put out there, I've already mentioned that as admins and stewards, we don't like giving penalties out, and we don't like when people get upset that they get penalties, and we can kind of understand it. We don't really want people to be reacting in a bad way to it, though. So one of the questions that I've got is, and this goes to all of the drivers, is have a think and see if there may be a different way that you can think of that we could go about informing you of any penalties that may be applied. I could give some examples, but I don't want to, because somebody out there may have an idea that nobody else has ever thought of, and we'll all go, that's not a bad idea. I mean, that may not happen, but I believe the ideas that I've got aren't really ones that I'd want to put in place. So for all of the drivers out there, if you have any ideas of how maybe we could go about informing or announcing any stewarding stuff that's different to what it is now, if you've got any ideas about it, let us know, because you may just have an idea that makes it easier to receive bad information, so to speak, or I don't know how to sort of express what I'm trying to get across here, other than, yeah, maybe there's a better way we could do it, and because we all know each other and because we're all friends, we want to involve you guys in the process of that. So if you have any ideas, let us know. And yeah, hopefully someone comes up with some magical idea that means that when people do get penalties, Even if they are frustrated, they're still happy. Good luck with that one. Right, we've already mentioned the next race is at Watkins Glen. First time ever in the Dynamic GT League because it's never been available to us before. Very interesting racetrack. Yeah, I would definitely recommend trying to get a few laps practice either before race day or at least on race day. Give yourself a good 10 minutes to really work out the track. It's not the most difficult, but it can be a little bit technical. Right, have a good one, everybody. Thanks for listening, watching. Like, subscribe, you know what to do. And have a great rest of the week. And we'll look forward to seeing you all again soon.